TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Hello, hello.
Well, this week we'll talk about the nuclear deal that's closer than ever being done and how bad it really is for Israel and the rest of the world, especially Israel and America. And we'll just do a recap of what's going on with the upcoming elections and politics here in Israel. Last week, we put out the video of finding the Israelite camp from the story David and Goliath. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. And this week, we'll put out the 360-degree video where you can see whatever angle you want of the same place. But first, let's say thank you. Thank you for all the help and all the support you guys are doing to be able to feed the precious people here in the state of Israel. These people are in desperate need, and you are doing so much to help them, and we thank you so much. It is a blessing that you allow us to be a part of, and we thank you so much. And we have to thank you because we don't. Obviously, they can't thank you, but so we're doing it for us and for them. And God bless you all, because it really is a blessing, real blessing what you guys are doing here. And like we always say at the bottom of every one of our videos, if you haven't yet been a part of this ministry and you feel like you want to be a part of it, there are links underneath every video to the Patreon page or to the Support Us page on thegoldenreport.com, and or you can just go to thegoldenreport.com and go to the support page and choose whichever way is best for you to be part of this wonderful thing here in the state of Israel. So thank you so much, and God bless. Well, let's get started, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
After Prime Minister of Israel was able to see the final draft of the Iranian nuclear deal, it was obvious that the promises made by President Biden in his recent visit here were all broken. Israel stated that we cannot agree to this agreement, and we will do everything to stop Iran from becoming a nuclear power. And then Biden backed out of even more restrictions and sanctions, promising money that would fund the nuclear deal and terrorist groups. It started off this week where the deal that was been put on the table was just insane. And then Iran came and saw the weakness in President Biden and said, well, we want even more. And then towards the end of this week, even more, President Biden agreed that if the next president of the United States decides to back out of this horrible deal that it does nothing but, use Bibi's words, but pave a golden highway for the nuclear arson for Iran. That's his words, by the way, on Fox News. Yeah. It would, if the U.S. backs out of it, Biden signed that the U.S. would have to pay huge fines that would do nothing but give them more money to be able to make nuclear weapons and support terrorist groups around the world, as they always do. Yeah. This is unbelievably horrible for you and for us, for the whole world. This could be the beginning of the end. If you,
catastrophic.
Yeah. It really is unbelievably serious and horrible what's going on right now with Biden and his nuclear deal that he's trying to put together so desperately with Iran.
Yeah.
It really is. It's something else.
Yeah. On Wednesday, when Prime Minister Lapid tried to call President Biden to talk about the nuclear deal, he was told that Biden is on vacation.
That's insane.
I'm sure that wherever Biden is, wherever he is, there are working telephones, and he could get the call from, right?
Yeah, the President of the United States takes important phone calls when he's in flight, going somewhere, when he's on vacation. And I'm sure even if he's in the bathroom and something important comes through, the President of the United States will talk to whoever and wherever he needs, right? And this is just ridiculous. It's basically, back when we were kids and you call someone and they're washing their hair excuse, right? It's insane. It was really crazy.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you that Biden knows how bad it really is, the deal he's making. He don't even have the courage to answer the phone call from the Prime Minister of Israel. Pictures coming out of Gaza show that the people might be finally getting fed up with the current government they have, Hamas is their government. It's not only the terrorist organization, but it's also their government.
Government, exactly.
They are still long from an uprise, but but because their faces were covered, they are saying enough is enough. In one video, they said that the Hamas and the Islamic Jihad are the ones killing the women and children, not the IDF. That's amazing, and those are the videos that should go viral coming out of Hamas. Not all the propaganda and lies that Hamas puts out.
Yeah.
But coming out of Gaza, those are the videos that should go viral and everyone should see.
People start talking.
Yeah, the actual people of Gaza scared to death with their faces all covered because they know if Hamas figures out who was it, they'd kill them, right? And coming out and saying, like in all these wars that Hamas puts on, gets going with Israel, Israel's not the ones killing their civilians and their women and their children. It's Hamas and the Islamic Jihad because they're primitive weapons and stuff, and they just don't care less. They just fire anyway, right?
Yeah. On Saturday night, 3 female terrorists were stopped and caught with guns and suicide notes on their way to make a terrorist attack in the state of Israel. Mm-hmm. They were stopped because of strange behavior and not because of intelligence work.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I hear about, I'm sure there are a few times they stop people just because they look strange and not because of intelligence, but this is the first time I hear like 3 women, it's unusual, going out to make a terrorist attack, and our intelligence don't know about it.
Yeah, we have great intelligence about this stuff. We usually catch them. The hardest ones to catch is the lone wolf, so to speak, the guy who just decided by himself. But anytime they go through terrorist organizations and stuff, we've got pretty good lockdown on their communications and everything. And the only reason they stopped these 3 women, like you said, was because they were acting a little different. And as soon as they stopped them, the security people there at the checkpoint saw that they didn't even have the right IDs and everything, permissions and stuff to even come into to Israel.
And so they checked their car.
So they checked their car, and sure enough, they found guns and ammunition and everything else, and with plans and suicide notes to make a terrorist attack. You made a very interesting comment when we saw it on the news that the Islamic world sends the women. They're good enough to go be terrorist suicide bombers, but
they're not good
enough.
But
they're not good enough to have a driver's license or be able to vote or anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, tension rising between Egypt and Israel because of the pressure Egypt is putting on Israel to stop our activity in Jenin and other areas that we are going to arrest terrorists with clear plans to make attacks on our citizens.
Yeah.
So the arrest continues. We always are arresting. The big arrest we did started all this big operation breaking down. And we continue arresting jihad, Islamic Jihad people, and all the people who trying to hurt Israel, our citizens.
Absolutely.
So now Egypt Egypt don't like it.
Yeah, it's a new development. Egypt for so long, since the peace treaty made between Israel and Egypt, which was decades ago, Egypt for so long has sort of been on the sidelines and
stayed out.
Sort of friends, but not friends. Never been our friends, but sort of. But now they're starting to get. It might have something to do with this summit that Iran, Turkey, and Russia made, where people are starting to feel, because of Russia coming in with the Arab countries, I think it's starting to bring up a new kind of feeling with the Arabs, like, oh, maybe now we have a chance, right? Mm-hmm. And it's causing some ripple effects across other things, because that's how things work in the world, right?
Yeah.
Well, on Saturday night, Arabs tried to kill passengers on a bus by opening fire with assault rifles. But they were not successful, seeing that the bus was equipped with a bulletproof glass and armor. This is just a routine bus, a civilian bus. Headed down Highway 60, very, very commonly used highway here in Israel. And just as they were driving down the road, sure enough, there they go, shooting at the bus, right?
Yeah, it was like 12 or 15 bullets shoot and hit.
Thank God no one was hurt.
Thank God, yeah. It was a miracle, I think. This week in Russia, I'll continue talking about Russia, The daughter of the number one Putin supporter and his main advisor was killed. She was blown up in her car. Russia blamed Ukraine for this murder. Ukraine says it's not them.
I don't think it was Ukraine. My opinion, I don't think it was Ukraine.
Inside, I think it was from inside Russia.
I think people inside Russia are getting fed up with Putin.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it's, you know, when you're having someone who's so unstable like Putin, anything that does, it's dangerous for everyone.
Yeah.
Anytime something happens like that.
Yeah.
You know, this guy was his number one advisor, best friend, some sort of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone tried to take him out and ended up getting his daughter.
Yeah, his main idea is to make Russia great again, like they used to be SSSR, like the whole, take the Ukraine and everything.
That's Trump's make America great again. Now Putin's taking it. Yeah. Well, after Prime Minister Lapid showed his weakness with the Hezbollah gas situation, Hezbollah is now going on the offense again and threatening to start a war. It was so obvious that this would be the next move that the Hezbollah made. You know, first of all, let me do a little recap. We have a gas field well inside of Israel's south of Lebanon, and our gas rigs is way, way, way south of Lebanon. And Hezbollah, Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, he came out and threatened that he was going to start a war because he tried to put claims on the gas that's out there in the Mediterranean that we're taking and getting for resources, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, Lapid showed his weakness and backed down and said, "Okay, we'll give you gas too. Just don't start a war." Well, when you show terrorist organizations like that weakness, they don't do nothing but get stronger and make more demands.
Yeah.
That's just how they work.
Yeah. When you say came out, you have to be careful with your words because he's still in his bunker. He's threatening us from his bunker.
Yeah, he always sits in his bunker. He's scared to leave his bunker. Every time you see him address his nation, his people, it's a big screen where all the people sit in front of
from his bunker.
And he's in his little bunker hiding out, right? Scared to death. Israel has raised the national interest rate for the second time. This time, the rate has gone up 2%. All the people in Israel that had a mortgage and bank loans are now finding themselves paying hundreds of dollars more every month on their payments. This is, it's happening everywhere in the world. Life is just getting more and more expensive everywhere to live. In a country like Israel, where it's almost unbearably expensive, it's just crazy how much it costs to live here. That's why what we're doing here together with you guys is so important, and you guys are doing so much good. And once again, thank you, and God bless you for what you're doing and being a part of this, helping here the nation, feeding the nation of Israel here in the state of Israel.
Yeah,
we love you guys for that.
Yeah, just recently on the news, they just checked families that used to be okay. They used to be okay. Both parents working, both parents get salary. And then now they cannot survive. They're really thinking what to buy. They don't buy whatever they want. I'm talking food. Food, just basic. And
it's getting bad. Everywhere, especially here. Well, we're about 2 months away from the election, and all this time that we've been coming up this past month or so, I haven't been reporting, as you noticed, every week on what's going on politically. I didn't think it was that interesting to get into what he said, she said, and they did and they didn't do, and he promised and he didn't promise.
Yeah.
So I just figured we'd do a little recap when we're a month out, because now we're 2 months out. 2 months out from the election. So I'll just do a little recap of my opinion.
Yeah.
Which of course is right, I'm
of course, and very important.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for noticing. Anyway, so in general, everything is about the same. All the same leaders are still the same leaders, but we know we've had of the different political parties. We know we've had a few break off from like Bennett's party and stuff, and other parties, and Gidon Saar's party, and they've made some new, which happens every election. Every election, you can be sure there's at least one or two, sometimes more, new political parties. That's all we need, right? More parties to vote for in the political system. That's also new. That's new, but that's also not new. The people, when all the polls that's going on here in Israel are still pretty much voting the same, left wings, right wings, no big changes there. So if the way it looks now, it looks like we're just going to be in the same loop again in 2 months with parties that can't find enough seats to make a government. That's 61 seats, right? And hopefully something will change, but that's what it looks like so far. You got some of your, so the only little bit of changes is that some of your more extreme right-wing, when I say extreme, I mean extreme right-wing parties, they're seem to get a little bit stronger. Nothing radical.
And that's natural. After you have this left-wing government last year.
Yes, absolutely. It's also nothing
Natural.
new. Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good point. Because that also is what happens after every time people get fed up with a left-wing government.
Yeah.
And especially while there was a left-wing government, there might have been a couple incursions like Operation Breaking Dawn, right? So in general, it's nothing really big news different to talk about. So that's why I haven't talked about it, but that's why I'm giving you this little update. And if another month goes by with nothing big, I'll probably do the same. I won't talk about it, and I'll just give you another quick update a month out before the elections. Well, you got anything you want to add?
No, not today.
No, that's it.
Share our video. Talk
Okay.
to people. Like always, I say. That's all.
Yeah, glad you didn't have anything to say.
Yeah.
I love you too. So anyway, don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com. And until next week,
Shabbat shalom.
God bless.